All right, we've all seen the pictures from Hawaii where there was the big fire on Maui in the city or town of Lahaina. Now, we're going to go down a long, winding rabbit hole of maybe another event that happened almost 100 years ago that may have been similar, not to create any conspiracy theories or to be kind of overly skeptical, but follow me with this and see if you think there's anything to these similarities. So here's Lahaina, burned to the ground, and we're going to take a look at something similar in Palm Beach, Florida. Couldn't be farther apart. You know, Lahaina in Maui in Hawaii is probably the farthest west you can go and be in the U.S., and Palm Beach is one of the easternmost shoreline places in the United States on the mainland, thousands of miles apart. What is Palm Beach, Florida like, and why is it related? Well, here's Palm Beach. Worth Avenue, very famous shopping district, right? All the big time stores are there. Great place. Nothing against Palm Beach. Beautiful town, very high end. But if you look back at the history of Palm Beach, he tricked us. He burned our houses down. Wait a minute. Does that sound familiar? I sat in a lecture years ago and listened to as a docent from a museum talked about Henry Flagler, the man who forged a path through the wilderness to basically make a luxury resort area for South Florida. There's a legend of the Styx, community on Palm Beach Island where the black workers lived. They worked to build up the area for Flagler and bring all the wealthy tourists. They lived in shacks and little homes they built. Here's a picture of the Styx. You can see all these little homes. It's not quite the same, but is that kind of similar to the kind of wooden homes that were in Lahaina? Well, let's keep going. The Styx, what it looked like. Local legend tells us that Flagler saw the attractiveness of Palm Beach as a resort getaway. But new visitors wouldn't want to see the squalor of the Styx when they arrived. Supposedly, in 1912, Flagler invited all the blacks off Palm Beach for a circus, a cookout, and then set the Styx ablaze while everyone was out. Sound familiar? Now, there are conflicting stories that this is not true, this is made up. But let's take a look at another one. Post time. Pioneers photos give a glimpse of Palm Beach mysterious Styx. In case you missed it, the shanty town sprang up on Palm Beach's County Road. Now remember that name. We're going to look at County Road here in a minute. North of Royal Ponciana Hotel. In the 1890s, more than 2,000 black workers were at the hotels, worked at the hotels. The story is Flagler wanted to move the people out so he could build a hotel there. He gave them all free tickets to a carnival, and while they were there, burned their homes. Let that sink in for a minute. Again, we don't know if this is true. There's a lot of people saying it's not true. Nothing against Palm Beach, nothing against the affluence. A lot of wealthy people there. More power to them. I want to get rich as much as the next person, right? So, County Road. What would be the advantage, fast forward to the future? Look, here's the thing. Whether or not Flagler burned down the Styx or it happened accidentally, either way, they didn't rebuild the Styx and move back in all the black people. Let's be real. So even if it was an accident or not intentional, it still had the same effect. They still got them out of there one way or another, right? But what are the odds that it happened when they were all at a carnival put on by Flagler? Same thing in Lahaina. Maybe it was an accident, but is it going to be the same result? Well, let's first take a look at what ended up being put on that location, the breakers in Palm Beach. About the breakers. In the late 1890s, elegant socialites became flocking to the shores. Founder Henry Flagler, one of America's great industrialists, built the hotel. Right? What about the breakers? Oh, we already saw that. Check availability. Let's see how much it costs to stay at the Breakers. Well, here's some prices. Lowest prices, if you go in the summer where it's still hot in September, it's $600. Once you get into October, it starts cooling off. You're $1,000. You get into November, you're $1,000. That's for the cheapest room. That's it. Starts at room. Different types of rooms. They have all kind of rooms. They have bed and breakfast from $690. You start scrolling up here, right? You have rooms that are $3,000, $4,000, even now. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not, against that. What else? And it's still owned by a Flagler development company. What else showed up on County Road? Well, here's a house on North County Road. That's what we're talking about, isn't it? Aren't we talking about North County Road? Where is it? Where is it? It said County Road, and I thought it said North County Road. Either way, that's what we're talking about. County Road. This house is not for sale, but it's on County Road, and the estimate is $252 million. $252 million. And you might think, well, how does that help? Why would the town want to do that? Well, here's one reason why. Here is that house, 615 North County Road. Again, I don't begrudge that person for having a $250 million house. More power to them, whoever it is. I would aspire to do the same thing. Here's the tax bill for 615 North County Road. This is the tax bill. This is how much they pay each year in tax. How much do they pay? They pay $2,400,000. That's how much they pay in tax. That's not what their assessed value is, right? Their assessed value, shift it over a little bit, is $150 million. Their tax is $2 million. That's how much they write a check for every year for that tax. So is it a good thing that this house now is on North County Road as opposed to the Styx being on North County Road? Do you think the tax bill for the Styx would be $2 million a year? Probably not. And to make matters worse, right now the house is valued at $250. The way taxes work in Florida, it goes by what the last transaction was. So when that last transaction happened, it was about $150 million. So if the house was assessed at $250, this tax bill would be even higher. So is it better to have this house or this Styx for tax revenue? Let's look at another house. Here's a lot that's for sale. It's not even built. This is a 2-acre lot, North Ocean Boulevard, right near North County Road. We'll look at a map here in a minute. $200 million for a lot. Got no house on it. Generational opportunity. Again, nothing wrong with this. Wealth, privilege, affluence, more power to you. Got no problem with it. Here's what houses look like there. Here's a developed home, North Ocean Boulevard at the north end, a little bit smaller lot. $77 million for the house. Sounds like a deal if this property costs $200 million. What's the tax bill on this house? $77 million. Well, this tax bill, you can see why it's so cheap. It's crowded. This is the house here right next to you. You have neighbors, God forbid, right? So their tax bill is only $300,000 a year. $300,000 a year. Some people pay $300,000 for a house. They pay that for tax every year. Begs the question, would the tax bill be $300,000 a year for these shanties? Probably not. Where are we talking about in Palm Beach? Well, be aware, here's Palm Beach Island over here. Here's the Breakers. We talked about the Breakers, right? Here is North County Road, right? And here's North Ocean. So it's right next to North County Road. So this is the area where the Styx were, right here. Now, we're not talking about West Palm Beach. You go over the bridge, West Palm Beach, there's a lot of, poverty in West Palm Beach, right over the bridge. But on Palm Beach Island, that's the Palm Beach Island, it's very affluent. Beautiful place. Don't get me wrong. Beautiful place. Nothing wrong with it. Be a great place to be. But the question is this same thing happening in Lahaina, Maui? Maybe not to the same level. Maybe nobody came in and set it on fire. But there's a lot of similarities. Flagler invited all the blacks off Palm Beach for a circus a cookout and then set fire, right? It's very suspicious. Again, not to be conspiracy theory. I know you have an opinion about this. What do you think about this? Is it too much similarities, or is it just a coincidence? Even if either Flagler didn't intentionally burn the place down to get the property, or even if nobody intentionally burned up Lahaina to get it, is the same result going to happen? Are we going to look forward 30, 40 years and find that instead of having the types of homes that Lahaina had, they weren't quite shanties like this, but they were more basic, simple houses. Are you now going to have this? Or are you going to have the breakers? Like a big time resort, right? I don't know. What do you think? Just an observation, not a judgment, not a criticism. It's just thought starter, conversation starter. Everybody has an opinion about this. Let us know in the comments.